Hey there, welcome to the Gyro Step, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, probably a part of the Gyro Step podcast network and Blue Wire podcast family, and presented by our friends at Prize Picks. I am Ty Windisch. I messed up the intro because I'm so excited that I'm breaking news to Rohan Katti, my wonderful co-host who didn't know. Breaking news here on the show. It's probably like 2 days ago. Al Horford said he's coming back, which I think the way he said it was almost a direct rebuttal to you. Because you hypothesized, either on this show or maybe on one of our Bleacher Report streams, that, I think Al is done. Al goes, I don't know where that rumor came from. I'm coming back. I feel great. So, Rohan, what's your reaction to this?
Why? Stop it. Stop, please.
Please, no.
Just no. Please stop. We're done. Like, you've had enough. You won the title. You just go be a family man. Like, what are you doing?
Mr. Hot Piss himself isn't going anywhere. That's not what we're really here to talk about today.
That's just ruined my mood, by the way.
Well, sorry about that, but I'm glad we at least got it in the pod. Al Horford is not who we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about a bunch of other NBA players, a lot of them worse than Al Horford, frankly, as we figure out who the Milwaukee Bucks can target in free agency. The thing about the NBA offseason, I'm kind of realizing they need to space this out a little more. It's like immediate draft free agency. What is it, Saturday? Sunday? After the draft is when free agency opens? It's weird this year. It's very early. They moved it up, I believe, or maybe it's just the timing of the 4th. It feels like it.
No, it's always June 30th. Or technically July 1st, but now it's June 30th.
I guess since the 4th is flipped, now this isn't really July 4th weekend, so that's why it feels different to me.
That is fair. But yeah, free agency starts Sunday, June 30th at like 4 or 5 Eastern or something like that. But yeah, it's only, 1, 2, 3, 4 days after the draft. It's crazy. I think the draft is just late this year.
It might be. But I think they can't move it would be hard to move free agency because it's all, like you said, it's always that day. But the finals end so close to it. It's really a sprint from here, and then it's going to be dead for a while. So I feel like this could be spaced out better, is all I'm saying.
I think they're just trying to front load a lot so they can get some vacation time in.
Yeah, I do think but no one has to be around really I guess you have to go sign the thing.
Yeah.
For the
can't you get
free
DocuSign?
agency.
Can't you
yeah, right?
No free ads, but can't you just do it?
I think we could say DocuSign, okay. That's not a very invasive brand.
Fair.
I wonder if they're having the Kleenex problem of you know what I mean? Is it too ubiquitous? Are they losing trademark? I don't know a single other company who does that.
I think Adobe does it too. Don't they? Can't you right. Sign PDFs and read or Acrobat? But
that's like a less built-in. This is way too in the weeds. This is like no one cares about this right now. So yeah, free agency's coming up. We haven't talked much about free agents at all. We've done the Derrick Jones Jr. Matrix, so some of those players will be on our list, I'm sure. We've done a lot of draft, and of course the draft is Wednesday. So I guess we're doing a Bleacher show later today on the draft on Tuesday. You'll be able to catch a replay of that in the Bleacher Report app if you're interested in our final full thoughts on the draft. But frankly, I don't have too much more. Is there anyone who's changed a lot for you? I'll say I think Ware has probably risen up to about my number 1. I think I'm with you with Kello Ware. I think that would be the best possible pick. But I'm still open to some others that I've talked about on the pod before.
Yeah, I don't think too much has changed in my thought process about my big board going into the draft. Maybe you've convinced me a little bit on Keyshawn George.
I do like Keyshawn a lot.
But I don't think too much has really changed for me.
I think
we've done so much more.
I gave up on De Silva. I feel like that's the other. I just assume that's over now.
It might be. It might not be. Who knows?
I know this draft's going to be kind of. Here's a draft thing. The teams at the top of the draft outside of Washington are stupid. There's my draft thing.
Yeah,
what I'm seeing right now, Klingon or Risache 1. Okay, Hawks.
I don't understand.
The Wiz have to be like, really? The guy wants to come here? What?
Yeah, wasn't there a report that he prefers Washington? Sorry.
Yeah, I imagine if the Wizards don't take him and after the draft it just leaks out we're worried he has some processing issues. We heard that he wanted to come here. we're concerned about his decision making.
We're like, why do you want to come here? We don't want to be here. Why do you want to come here?
I think it'll be a great coup for the Wiz. Even if they have to, even if Atlanta squeezes out a little asset and they trade up, like if they come out with Sarr, I think it's a huge coup. I think he's still the best prospect. And I mean, outside of him, I can't believe I'll tell you what I'm worried about. One last draft thing. I'm worried about Ron Holland falling to the Heat. I don't want that to happen.
Oh, no.
I don't want that to happen. I think he should go lottery. I think the falling on him is unfortunate, but that's the kind of guy who's like so, I think, dripping with potential. I would not like him to go to Miami. Let him go pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah. Let him drop to Milwaukee.
Be fun, but so weird. The Isaiah Collier, if Collier is on the board, that's going to be so bizarre for me.
I don't know. You have to trade it. We've talked about this.
Or just ignore it. Like he clearly doesn't have that much value if he gets down to 23.
That's true.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, very excited for the draft. We will be live streaming Wednesday evening for the draft. TBD what we do on Thursday. If you're unaware, the draft is 2 days. First round only, Wednesday night instead of the usual Thursday. Second round Thursday at 3 p.m. Central. That's insane. So we may be doing a stream. Also kind of depends what the Bucks end up doing between now and then. But you may be able to tune in from the last couple hours at work and see us, some combination of us. It's going to be still figuring out everything. But you can plan Wednesday night on the YouTube, the GSPN YouTube channel. Check out gspn.info. We'll make sure we have a link up somewhere there, or just type in Gyro Step on YouTube, and you can find us that way too. We will be live Wednesday night for the draft. I think it starts at 7.
That sounds.
I'm going to guess 7. It has to be 7.
I hope it's like 6.
I mean, if they're starting round 2 at 3 p.m., who knows what time it's going to be?
Yep, it's 7.
Perfect. And then, of course, audio listeners only, you will have a pod the next day. We're going to do a live pod during the stream too, so don't worry. There's going to be a pod. But if you want to watch along during the thing, check us out on YouTube.
So I Googled just NBA drafts, right?
Yeah.
In a incognito tab.
Why was it incognito? Is that your default?
Yeah. Why'd you just start sitting there and drink coffee?
Have a seat.
So, and then it also says people also ask, right? The first people also ask question is, what round will Bronny James be drafted?
I'm going to guess 2. I think 2 is pretty firm on that one.
Yeah. And then, what the heck? And so I click on it, and then it populates with an article, right? And the article is from the Today Show?
Oh, wow. That shows you where we're at. As much as I'd love to continue talking about Bronny, I have a list of 40 free agents. We haven't started yet. I feel like we need to get to the free agents.
He is 3 of the 6 people also ask questions, by the way.
I feel kind of bad for the actual prospects, but also they're pretty uninspiring, so I get it. I'm not
what draft class
as mad
is
about
Bronny James in 2024? That's not a real question.
That doesn't make any sense.
And then what draft class is Bronny James in? Whatever. Okay, yeah, you're right. We need to get started.
So unlike the draft one where we worked off the same list of prospects, I believe. So I'm sure you didn't just rank every player in free agency. Correct me if you're wrong. No. So I have an unrealistic list, and I basically ranked everyone else. So a quick groundwork before we get into the actual options. LeBron, DeRozan, Paul George, James Harden, all off my list. Klay Thompson. I also took off restricted free agents by and large, unless I think I left 2. If I think there's a chance they get renounced, then I put them on. But if they're Isaac Okoro is not a super sexy free agent, but the Bucks could only sign him at most if they cleared a bunch of salary to a 3-year, $18 million option. And the Cavs would just say, sweet, thanks for doing that. We will match and keep him on that contract. So I don't think restricted free agents are worth talking about. I didn't include Malik Beasley or Jay Crowder because they depress me. I didn't include most of the Sixers because
that's some of the news, by the way. I think it was a Chris Haynes report that Malik Beasley has played his last game with the Milwaukee Bucks.
I just sent a thumbs up to that one. Yeah, I hope so too. I didn't include most of the Sixers because I think they're going to want to retain some of those guys. But if you have Kyle Lowry on your list, we can talk about it.
I have a Sixer.
I don't think I have any, so that'll be interesting. Nick Claxton I didn't do Kyle Anderson. I didn't do Valanciunas, although maybe he's going to be an option. We'll see. I'd rather just draft a guy. Anyway, and I didn't do KCP because it sounds like his market is pretty popping as well. Or Caleb Martin, same deal. Like if a guy opts out of like $8 million and it's like, yeah, he's probably because he has another deal, that's just the Bucks aren't going to sign him. They can offer at most, again, if they clear out cap, like $5 million on a non-taxpayer mid-level. So with all that said, who do you want to start with? Who's on your list of free agents the Bucks could somewhat reasonably acquire?
So let's start off with my Sixer just to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre.
Oh, I have Oubre too. Okay. I that's my bad. I forgot Oubre. Well, because they don't have additional spending power with Oubre.
No, he signed for a 1-year minimum contract this past offseason. He is a non-bird free agent for the Sixers. And what a weird season for him. Unfortunately, he got hit by a car, which was ridiculously unfortunate, and I'm glad he's okay from that.
He came back pretty quick, honestly.
I know. If I got hit by a car, I wouldn't work for like a year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, I don't have to use athleticism or my body to work.
That's why I don't think I could be a good NBA player because I might just retire. They're like, Ty, you have like no broken bones. I'm like, yeah, but that was scary. I have enough money.
Car.
I've invested very soundly. I'm good.
Yeah, but this is a guy who didn't have his best season overall as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. He's had a lot better years going back to his Charlotte times, going back to, obviously, his Washington days. But you look at this season, he didn't really shoot that great. This is his worst three-point shooting season since, his sophomore year in the NBA. And there's not a lot to love in terms of his shooting prowess, but if you want to talk about a guy who's going to get out there and give you some consistent offense, at least like shot creation, like self-shot creation, I think at this price range, that's the best you're going to get, right? Like the Bucks do not have a lot of options here, and Kelly Oubre is a guy who's probably going to sign for another minimum contract. Who knows? He might not.
It's hard to say. Yeah, it's really hard to say. I'm glad we talked about him and Beasley early though, because I shared I shared my top 2 picks on Twitter earlier, and I was like, I hope people don't get too excited because I know like there's like levels to this, right? There's people who are like us, like reading these lists and have a good realistic idea, and then there's people who are posting on usually not like maybe Facebook, let's say, but like I hope the Bucks sign Paul George. It's like they're not going to be able to. It's not going to be that exciting. It's not going to be that sexy. And a lot of people
I don't know, man, that opt-in and trade rumor.
It still doesn't matter. I said Naji Marshall as one of my top 2, and somebody goes, he's going to get $60 million. I'm like, from who? Like, maybe. I would be pretty shocked if he did, frankly. He's like the 15th most exciting New Orleans young guy at this point. And like, look at Oubre, look at Malik Beasley. Nobody thought those guys were going to get vet min coming in the last offseason. We just don't know. We don't know who gets shafted, how the market breaks out. So I'm sure there's guys on our lists who are going to go get like a full MLE somewhere, and that's just what happens. It's hard to calculate. But I like Oubre. He's third on my list. I don't think he's a perfect fit. Like, he's not the greatest shooter. He's not the greatest defender, but he does get. I think he tried harder on defense on a better Sixers team last year. And what I did is I broke it into tiers. So I have 7 tier 1 guys who I think could potentially be the 5th starter. Okay. And I might move my last one down to tier 2. Because the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, probably not after last season, but maybe. And I have Oubre in that tier of like, he could start at the 2, basically. So I think he really could. I don't think it's a perfect fit, like I said, but I think he's good enough and potentially available enough that he is an option there. I think in an ideal world for me, the Bucks make a trade to fill that spot, to be clear. Like, I'm still chasing the high of a Lou Dort or a Dylan Brooks, but that's just that's how I thought of it to contextualize this list. Was tier 1 could potentially start. Tier 2 for me is like, I think would be a good, useful bench player. Tier 3, I'm like, maybe contributes to the bench, but maybe is like not really a rotation player. So that's how I listed all these players. So my number 1 was Haywood Highsmith.
There you go.
I have a Haywood Highsmith love affair, basically on vet min as well. Also an unrestricted free agent. So, does Miami maybe just retain him right away? Sure. I don't know if you folks have heard. A lot going on in Miami right now.
It's weird, right?
A lot of Jimmy Butler smoke going around right now, and I think in a pretty real way. So suffice it to say, I don't think Riles right now, Pat Riley, is laid up at night going, how much do I give Haywood Highsmith? I think he's going, what the hell am I doing with my franchise is the big question here.
Here's the thing. I think Riles would do that.
Maybe he would.
He'd rather do that than talk about paying Jimmy Butler.
Well, that doesn't help my agenda here.
Oh, that's fair.
But I think Highsmith, a good, long, versatile wing player, scored really well in the Derrick Jones Jr. matrix. I think would be exactly the kind of player the Bucks are looking for. A proven contributor on a very good team. I'm all in on Haywood Highsmith. If the Bucks can get him, I would be thrilled if they signed him. And people will probably clown me for having him higher than some other guys on this list. It's all about fit for me. I think his fit is perfect on a team like Milwaukee, and I think he has a great chance to be a starter and really contribute if they were able to sign him, or a really important bench player.
100%. He is fourth on my list. He's only fourth because there's a tie for second. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, he could definitely slot in, be a starter. We've talked about this before on the pod, and just a versatile player. Like, I should probably have him second instead of fourth. Realistically, but you're right. Haywood Highsmith, a guy who has a chance to break that sort of trope of Miami guys going out, except Max Strus already did it this year. But
yeah,
just being able to go out there and contribute. I think Highsmith is a young player. He's athletic. I mean, he's not super young.
He's like 27, I think.
He's younger.
He's prime. Entering his prime years.
Yeah. Great fit next to Giannis, great fit next to Dame, great fit next to Kris. What else could you ask for?
Yeah. So who's your two guys tied for two?
These are two guys that we've talked about at length. And I gave them a tie, mostly because one's your guy, one's my guy.
Oh, okay. So you have these guys higher than me.
Yeah. So it's Dennis Smith Jr. and Kris Dunn.
I have Kris Dunn 6th and Dennis Smith Jr. 10th. Okay.
This is because, we probably should have prefaced this with what we think is going to happen, but in terms of team needs, that's how I did it.
Yeah.
And one thing the Bucks need is a backup point guard because, I mean, even though ideally I'd like to see, hey, does Ty Washington get a shot to do that? But
do you have Pat Bev on your list?
No.
I have him 21st. I'm just not that excited about it, to be honest.
No. I tried to stay away from Bucks players.
I have other backup point guards on here lower as well that I'd actually prefer to him, I think.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to win the sweepstakes, baby? But yeah, just in terms of a team need, obviously they need a big. They also need a backup point guard, right? And with this free agent class, as I'm sure we're going to get into, bigs aren't aplenty, and just in terms of the highest skill level available, but there are some good point guards available, and that's the reason. I probably have them too high, but in terms of free agents, I'd be really, really happy with. If they got one of those two, I'd be ecstatic.
I still really like Dunn. I think the players on the list above him, they're a little younger, and they can contribute more. And I like that. Again, I have Dennis Smith Jr. 10th, which is not low considering I looked at 40 different players for this. Not counting the ones who are on my unrealistic list, which is another 20 players. But it's more so, he's 6'3". I think Frank Madden, longtime Brew Hoop and Lockdown Bucks person. I didn't know what word to encompass both things. Presence, Bucks Twitter presence. He esteemed Frank Madden, to be clear. I still use his cap sheet all the time. But he was saying he could see Dunn slotting in as a starter. He's a little too little for me, but I guess
backcourt.
I do have him in my tier 1, so technically I put him there as well, but I certainly wouldn't prefer that. I think a backup point guard role for him would be great. Really shot the 3-ball well as a tenacious defender. Does have a long wingspan. And I feel the same about Dennis Smith Jr. The shooting isn't ideal, which, I think it is tougher because I don't know how much you'd play him with Dame. Probably some. Dame obviously is the ultimate spacing help, but a good physical point guard too, and a really, really good defender. So I'd be very happy if they signed either of those guys as well. I do have another point-ish guard pretty high up. My other top tier player in that thing, Shake Milton, 7th.
Oh, your guy.
I think kind of forgotten about, like didn't have a good year, got bought out. So it actually really affects his earning power because no more bird rights. He got bought out and re-signed, and then his like last salary is basically prorated vet minimum with wherever he ended up. So it wouldn't surprise me if he picked a new team again. He went for a mini MLE last year. Again, didn't have a great year. I would be all in on him for vet min and see if in a better situation he can flourish. Again, ideally, probably a sixth man, probably not your starter. I think you'd want a bigger, more physical defender there. But I'm all in on taking the dice roll. Like I think Shake has real talent, and I'm very intrigued to see where he goes this summer.
No, that's fair. I don't think I'd value Shake Milton as highly as you do.
He's had a couple of really good years. I'm chasing the high here.
I mean, that was a few years ago.
It's like 2 years ago now.
That's a few.
I don't think he was bad this last season.
Okay, let's pull it up.
I don't think he got specifically dumped. I think he was just in a trade. He never played. He didn't shoot the ball well, but he only played 13 minutes per game. They brought in Nah too, and I think Nah just absolutely ate up his role.
Oh yeah, Nah was great for I almost said the Wizards, the Timberwolves. I got Wizards on my mind.
Shot 42% in 4 games with Detroit, baby. Yeah, technically is a Nick, but they don't have any signing advantage over him, really, given they brought him in on a buyout. Yeah, Shake Milton getting bought out by the Pistons was a very bizarre thing.
It was so weird, right? It was so weird.
But the season before that, actually it was the year before that, he played pretty well. 8 points per game, 37% from 3. And then he was 12th and 6th man of the year voting 2 years again before that. But 27 years old, turns 28 in September. I'm still high. I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating him, but I'm still high on Shake Milton.
I don't think I have Shake Milton in my top 20 or anything.
Wow. Did you just not consider him, or would you just think he's ranked outside of there?
I think he's probably outside of there.
Oh, okay. Who else do you have in your so who do you have next? 3?
No, Highsmith was 3 or 4 for me because I had to tie at second.
Okay,
so I got 1, 2, 2, 4.
Yeah.
Here's a curveball at 5, and I think I'm gonna get clowned for this. Josh Okogie.
Oh, he is. Where did I put him? Did I not have him on here? Oh, I have him 30th.
Yeah, I know. I know. I knew I was not gonna be like in agreement with you on this, but here's the thing, though. Did not have a great season last year in Phoenix. Did not.
No,
absolutely.
Just could not do anything offensively, really, which is sort of an issue.
But
new Ryan Dunn guy Rohan confirmed here. Go on.
Hey, you might be. But Josh Okogie, man, that dude is a menace on the defensive end. That dude's an absolute menace. Like, you're right. He can't do anything on the offensive end. He shot 30.9% from 3 on less than 2. Or wait, no. I'm right. 30.9% from 3 on 1.6 attempts per game.
The scary part was that was second best mark of his career.
Yeah, that's the second time. And you know what? He's trending above 30%. We'll take that.
With Phoenix the last 2 years, he's 32%, which is like still pretty bad.
With the weirdest spacing of all time also.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, theoretically Phoenix should have good spacing, but they didn't. Hopefully Bud fixes that. But if you need someone to just be a menace, that's him. Right? If you need someone to just say, hey, we need someone to take a wing assignment so Kris doesn't have to do it, so Giannis doesn't have to do it. We can hide Dame a little bit. That's your guy, right? Especially at this price range. Again, we have to preface this is at this price range. You're not getting it's a top tier defender. I don't even know what defenders are free agents, but
this guy is one of the best ones for sure. Kris Dunn, you're not going to find a great two-way player at this price point.
Versatile,
you're going to find one or the other usually.
Switchable,
yeah,
could be amazing in Milwaukee. The upside, I understand why you have him at 30th.
That's probably low. That's probably low. Looking, at
I really do get it. I'm not trying to say that you're wrong for doing that. I get it. Trust me. But here's the thing. I think he's my Shake Milton.
Okay. I like it. I have Lamar Stevens at 23rd. I'm a weird Lamar Stevens guy, and that's kind of a similar idea, I think. That's I guess I probably should have grouped some of these guys closer together. I also have Josh Richardson probably too high at 15.
Oh God.
I think he's kind of I think he gives you a little more offense. I think he's a pretty darn good perimeter defender too.
I think he's just. We'll talk about him later.
I mean, I don't have to talk about it much. I have Naji Marshall second. I don't know if he's actually going to be available. He's coming off of an extremely small salary.
I didn't really consider him because I thought he was going to be priced out.
I just have no idea.
I think
who's getting hot and excited about Naji Marshall on the open market? No, they're getting hot. They got Tobias Harris.
They have enough for him too.
We'll see what he signs for. But he's unrestricted, so it's like. I mean, does Naji Marshall want to go? Like, if you're Naji Marshall, Pistons call you, say, hey, $8 million for 2 years. Like, that's pretty good. Bucks call you, say, hey, you want to start between Dame and Chris Middleton? I mean, we can give you maybe mini MLE, maybe vet min, but like, you want to really cash out in a year after we're like, hopefully going to the finals? I think it's a good pitch. I mean, it worked with Malik Beasley, right? So we'll see. But young wing with upside, not a really consistent shooter, but big energy guy, athletic. Everything else, probably not feasibly attainable. I don't think this guy will be either, so that's why I'm just going through a couple quickly here. I had Gary Trent Jr. fourth.
No, I don't think so.
I don't like his fit. Like, the buzz about him has been kind of weird. Like, I added him late to this list because I keep seeing, I like, not with the Bucks, but I keep seeing like other, not reporting, I'll say, but just like, will Gary Trent be available here for the minimum, there for the minimum? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't expect so either, but I just threw him on because, I mean, it's pretty similar situation to Beasley in a lot of ways. He didn't flame out in the playoffs because they weren't good enough, but
yeah, that's the thing. The buzz has been a little weird about Gary Trent. Yeah. I agree. I feel like he's one of those guys that's still not going to sign for the minimum. Though he's made a lot of money.
Yeah, he's coming off $17 million.
I don't know. How old is he?
I mean, probably the biggest thing here is like, do the Raptors want to re-sign him, or does he find an MLE?
He's only 25.
Yeah, he's really young. I think he's in a weird spot. Like, I think he really lost a lot of buzz this last year. I don't think he had a great year with the Raptors. I mean, if they turn around and they're like, hey, we'll give you $17 million for like 2 more years, I'm sure he just takes it.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what how the rest of the league values him. Also, Taurean Prince, I think he's just going to be a Laker again, but I put him on here because if he is available, I think he'd be a really nice signing.
No Darvin Ham.
That's true.
We know Darvin Ham loved himself some Taurean Prince.
Sounds like JJ Redick really likes Rui Hachimura.
Oh yeah, that's some news, by the way. JJ Redick's the coach of the Lakers. Watch out, everyone. We're coming. We're gonna go coach it.
Yeah.
That's a joke, by the way.
Not for me. I plan on doing that. So yeah, I think out of our top
could coach
list,
a high school team.
I feel like not head coach. I feel like we could get assistant coaching jobs at a high school team. I think we
could head coach at a high school team.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm not saying like Montverde or something, but like
I think could we do it? Maybe. I think getting the job would be the hard.
Oh, I'm not worried about I'm saying like just.
Oh, I'm talking about actually like what high school is going to be like. Yeah, let's let these guys do it. They have no experience. They have no kids. It's weird, right?
Well, when you said no kids, you made it sound a little weird.
Well, regardless.
I mean, how often does the coach of a? I mean, yeah, it does happen fairly.
I think for very regularly. Yeah. Actually, I think it's a very easy in. Gary Trent Jr. not an ideal fit, but just a really good player, really good spacer. And then Taurean Prince, I think a better fit. Not exactly what the Bucks are looking for, but like good 6'8" size, a legit shooter. I think he's gotten a little better he was more inconsistent like back when he was a Hawk. But probably neither realistically available, but I put him on the list just to do it. Back to the realistic guys. At 8, I have Gary Harris.
I'm not
giving up on Garris. I love me some Garris.
I have him 6.
Down year last year, but Orlando has like 50 young guards, so it kind of makes sense. They're just kind of like doing the Michael Scott push him out the door meme to the old guy, to old Garris here. I think he still has quite a bit to give. Still like not old at all. I feel like Gary Harris has like really had a pretty, I don't know if prolific is the right word, but he doesn't turn 30 until September. So I still think there's a lot to give here. Shot 37% last year, 43% the year before, 38% the year before that. If you remember, he was looked at. He finished in the top 16 of most improved player of award voting 2 years in a row, which is kind of sick. He was like a premier 3-and-D guy, and his shot totally fell off after his 4th year with Denver, and they dumped him basically.
And got Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, it worked out. But I'm all in on taking this swing. Like, I don't think his effectiveness has gone down. I kind of just feel like Orlando's not been needing him as much.
Is he the new Terrence Ross?
I think he's more built to help a good team than Terrence Ross.
I know, but in terms of like that Orlando guard,
if they re-sign him again, he is.
Yeah.
If they're just like, you know what, we're not done yet. We love our Garris. Then he is the new Terrence Ross. I think I have him tier 2 technically. I think he could. I think he could start for the Bucks.
I think he could if he proved himself. I think of him more as a boss man who I wanted to start, but
yeah.
So yeah, I think he could I think he would start off the bench, and then if he starts,
or at least come into camp and it's like him and Ajax and Marjan and AJ Green, like they all compete for it.
Yeah,
yeah,
I could see it, and Doc loves his vets.
Yeah, I think Gary Harris, I think a good two-way player is why I say that.
JJ Redick calling himself a Doc disciple was fun.
Good, pay tribute.
Yeah, even though he flamed Doc Rivers a few months ago. Remember that?
Oh yeah. I was watching Bob Cousy tape, and I don't think JJ Redick knows what he's talking about. Those guys can hoop. Bob Cousy was making swinging overhead passes in transition.
He was, but also there was the other players did not know how to play defense.
No one knew how to shoot jumpers yet. It was a different era. I'm just saying it's disrespectful to call them plumbers.
I'm saying if they played today, they would be plumbers.
I think Jerry West could play in today's league.
Absolutely, RIP to a legend.
Yeah, I was watching his. He was nasty.
Oh, absolutely. No, Jerry West is not a plumber.
Mikan's not a plumber either, and that's even earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Giant.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to hear a name on my list?
Yeah, I just did a bunch because I wanted to rattle through the unrealistics. Who's next up on your list?
Again, this is not going to be a popular take at all. Jackson Hayes.
I have him lower.
I don't think he's very good.
Yeah, I don't either. And the off court too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's move on.
Okay, I have him 25th. He's still on my list. He's like an athletic center. I don't think he knows how to do anything well.
No, he doesn't.
But he's an athletic big guy.
And young. He's a young athletic center. That's the only reason.
I think I'd rather just, who's one more draft take? Adam Bona in the second round. Kind of starting to like what I'm hearing.
I saw someone say, I wish I had the credit for it. I saw someone say he's Bobby Portis with maxed out attributes, and I can't unsee it.
He's, not on offense, it seems like. But he's 6'8", but he's really tries super hard defensively, can switch, be at the level, probably can drop, good wingspan, standing reach. So maybe if they do a big wing or trade their first, him in the second round, I think I'd prefer that to a Jackson Hayes.
I think so. No, absolutely. This is just in a vacuum again.
I have another backup center.
Oh, let's hear it. Is it who I think it is? Who I think might get more? I don't know.
Who is it?
I was going to say Andre Drummond.
Oh, yeah. I left him off. He should probably be on the list. I think he could sign for Bettman again. It was actually Xavier Tillman.
There we go. He's on my list, yep.
I have him 9th. And I think the only way this happens basically is if one of the good bigs falls to Boston at 30 and they're pretty much all right, we got this guy we just drafted. Maybe we bring back Kata. We don't need to pay Tillman again, or Tillman knows his role's going away. And then if the Bucks make some shakeups, if they keep Bobby and Brook, this doesn't really make sense. But if there's a backup center hole, maybe compete to be a starting center hole if it's just him and a rookie. I do think he could come in and compete. I was very impressed with how he played in the playoffs. Very stout defender, good roll man, nice athletic big. I'd be really high on. Drummond, he's a good player. I don't know if I could stomach following him for a full season.
It would make me sick. it would make I'd be constantly on the watch whenever he's on the court to say, oh my God, is he going to do the boneheaded play that he does every week?
Is he going to poster Damian Lillard today?
I'd just be concerned every time he's on the court that he's going to embarrass himself. But that dude might be the greatest. What?
We got Spice.
Oh?
Matas Buzelis, who's not the guy I expected being spicy. I respect Zach Risache as a player. He just doesn't want to see me. I'm just going to keep it real with everybody. Wow.
What?
Buzelis.
What did Risache do? He's like that 50 Cent me. Why you say F me for it?
Matas Buzelis just you know what? Actually, that guy sucks. I love this.
What is he doing?
Moving up my board.
That's probably, he's like, yeah, I want to be drafted by the Pistons now. Actually, he was probably going to go to the Pistons anyway.
I would rather take Modest than Zach Rieseshay too. So I love that he went after the guy who I think sucks. That's extra points for me. That has nothing to do with this pod, but it's just way too funny to not mention. And that's with Shams too. It's not like he sat down with Taylor Rooks where it'd be more understandable. That's with Shams. He's like, you know what, Shams? That guy stinks. I'm better. Love it.
Oh my goodness.
But Xavier Tillman, solid backup big with upside. Young player still.
Yeah. Didn't have his best showing ever in the final. I mean, he had some good moments in the finals.
Yeah, I think was playable throughout the play. I think clearly emerged as their clear backup center in the playoffs, which I wasn't sure if he was actually going to be as useful.
Definitely outplayed Luke Cornett.
Yeah, which again, not saying a ton, but it is what it is. I think he's a good stout defender, good steal and block rate. He averaged over 1 steal and 1 block in his time in Memphis before the trade, which is pretty impressive for a center.
Yeah, and he's like super young.
Yeah, he is. Not 26 until January.
Dude looks 30, but he's 25.
Yeah, and Xavier Tillman Sr. is his name, and he does look old. But yeah, he's only 25 years old. So good for Xavier Tillman.
Okay. My next guy is someone who might honestly be out of the range, but who knows? Again, Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I missed Lonnie. I totally forgot Lonnie. Someone reminded me. I forgot to add him. Yeah, I mean, that could start, I think. Should
Absolutely
really be high on my list.
I wanted him 2 years ago for the Joe Ingles spot. By the way, I was right about that.
Yes.
But just had a quiet up and down season in Brooklyn, LA the past 2 years. I mean, didn't do as well this season as he did last season with the Lakers. I mean, but he did improve on a lot of things. Like his 3-ball went up, his shooting percentage at 38.4%. Shooting not as well on 2s, but still efficient at 47%. Just a solid player. He turned it around a bit defensively as well, like just being able to lock in, be a solid defender. I think he could absolutely start, right? And he's again, if you want to get like a young wing who's able to grow with this team at a solid price range, he can't do much better than Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, I think he had a nice year that nobody noticed because.
Brooklyn
just the morass of suck that is Brooklyn. Yeah. I like Lonnie Walker. I think that'd be a home run if they were able to get him. And again, it's unfortunate, but these guys, like, and multiple players I think have talked about this. It's hard to break out of being a vet min guy once you take it once.
Yep.
And for him, it's like, yeah, nice year. You know, was it a nice enough year though that somebody's going to be like, yeah, here's my full MLE? Probably not. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. It's really hard to say with some of these guys. But the other thing too that I think is depressing the market is with all this second apron chatter. It sounds like some of the cap space teams, maybe half of the cap space teams, are going to be more interested in like eating contracts and picks than actually signing players. Which like it's a zero-sum game, right? If that cap space isn't used, that's just less money that's going to go out to the players overall. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Was that your last top 10 player, or do you have more? I mean, my whole top 10 because I had Dennis Smith Jr. was 10th for me.
Okay, so I had Andre Drummond in here, but I wasn't like sure if he was going to be
I think he's going to be available. I mean, I don't think he'd sign unless the Bucks needed him to start, but I think he's going to be available.
And because I just wanted to get some bigs out here. And then my next guy is Precious Achiuwa.
I had Precious too. He's my one restricted free agent.
I don't know how he's really if he's gonna get there, right?
It's probably only if the Knicks re-sign Hartenstein and then don't trade Mitch Rob. And it's just like, we don't need any, and we still have Randall, like we don't need any more bigs. I think it's more likely they keep him. But again, like I think it's smart. I think we should include guys who are probably not available because on the off chance that they are, then we have a better list. Like I'd rather do that than, okay, here's the 4 players we both agree are going to be available for vet min. Let's rank all 4 of them. I don't think that'd be a very good pod.
No, I agree. But Precious is a guy who showed to be, like, once Mitchell Robinson got hurt, he can be a very versatile, defensive versatile big man, right?
Yeah.
He's a guy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just a guy who's able to come in, slot start, sometimes like play backup big minutes, sometimes depending on who was in, who was out. And just be able to contribute not only defensively but offensively as well. A hard rim runner, just an athletic big, and that's a guy who we're saying like, yeah, the Bucks really should get an athletic big. He's not the biggest guy. I mean, he's not
6'8",
6'8", something like
6'9",
that.
6'9", maybe.
Let me check.
I think he's got decent size. The big
6'8".
swing skill for him, I think, is going to be the shot. I think he could be a good NBA player regardless. But if he starts hitting the shot, I think he could be really valuable. And it's been fleeting. It's like 27% so far, I think, in his career.
Yeah, he will not shoot, right? Like from distance or anything like that. So don't expect a floor spacing athletic big, which is why I'm just so high on Kello Ware, because it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But
I'm so ready to take that gamble, man. Like, put him in with Giannis and Dame. They'll get him trying hard enough. Like, let's go for it.
Yeah, just like trade up to get him if you need to. Like, honestly.
Did you see I saw a trade draft pick calculator that says the Bucks should be able to get like 11 or 12 with 23 and 33?
Sheesh.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't think I would. There's no point.
I'm just not that excited about the late lotto guys in this draft. Like, here's a question. Who would be your dream player? Like, let's throw all realism out of the building. Who would be the dream player to follow the Bucks if it could be anyone in the draft? And are there that many guys higher than Kello Ware for what Milwaukee specifically needs? I think it's a fascinating question.
I think it's just Sar, right?
But like, as much as we like Sar, like, is he really going to make sense on the Bucks with Giannis? Maybe.
I think you take the talent.
You probably do, but it's like very clunky. Like, there's not really many guys where I'm like,
take the talent.
Sure. I'm just saying there's not many guys.
Thought experiment. Yeah.
There's not many guys above where I'm like, oh, I'd kill for this guy. Maybe like Reed Shepherd.
Maybe.
A little small, but like De Silva would be nice. But again, like, he's not that unrealistic anyway, right? Like, there's usually, I feel like there's more top lotto guys you'd be like drooling over. But it's like, would I take Matas Buzelis? Like, yeah, I'd take him, but
I mean, like, super excited about it. I mean, I'd be pretty excited about it, but
I'd be pretty excited about it, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's going to be more helpful over the rookie contract than Ware, just given where the Bucks are at and what they need and the specific skill sets involved. I think Sar's a good one because he's probably can shoot too. And then it's like maybe Reed Shepherd, maybe Connect, just as like a plug and play offensive player. But I don't know if you're that thrilled about it.
I wouldn't be that thrilled about it.
But like a Stephon Castle or Ron Holland, I'm like, yeah, I like those guys. Like, don't know if they're ever going to help the Bucks in their rookie contracts.
The Bucks have Damian Lillard.
Yeah, like, that's okay. I don't really want to give the ball to these guys. They have Chris Middleton too, right? So it's a tough draft for, I think, really good teams or up top, which, I mean, makes sense. It's not anyway. Before we get to more free agents, let's talk about one of my favorite pickups of the year. Our friends at Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 5 million active members, where you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as just four correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. The finals are over, but the hoops action doesn't stop on Prize Picks. Women's basketball is still heating up between stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese looking to make names for themselves alongside greats like Brianna Stewart and A'ja Wilson, who is on track to have the highest points per game season in WNBA history, by the way. You can win up to 100 times your cash watching them ball out. Prize Picks is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, most importantly, Wisconsin. I have been playing a bunch of WNBA Prize Picks. Caitlin Clark, more than points and assists, has been pretty successful, we'll say, for me lately. She had a career high with like 13 assists the other day. Angel Reese, points and rebounds. Angel Reese gets those rebounds. Yeah, 8 straight, most ever for a rookie. And A'ja Wilson, the numbers are high. Sometimes I get scared away, and then I look, and she's like way over. So A'ja Wilson always a good one to go with the more than projection as well. There's also baseball, which I'm no good at doing the baseball, but if you're a big cruising for a bruising listener, you can go to hitter fantasy score, pitcher strikeouts, total bases, things of that nature as well. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Eurostep for a first deposit match up to $100. It's promo code Eurostep on the Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Speaking of picking, I have one more Sixer.
Oh, so you just...
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any Sixers. Actually, I have 2.
Well, they have so many free agents that I saw 3 of their guys on my no-go list. I assume that would be most of them, but I probably have 3 more somewhere.
Is it? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Batum.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fourth quarter, yelling. Yeah, I just I think he just stays, right? Like, I think they just retain him. But
who knows though?
The funky thing with the Sixers, so if they want all this cap space, the way it works is you have to relinquish your cap holds which then takes away your ability to pay guys more. So, like, they're not doing this with Maxey. Maxey's cap hold is small. They're just going to wait and sign him later. But, like, Nic Batum, his last year's salary is $11 million. So, if they want to use the bird rights and pay him more than $11 million, they need to keep that cap hold on the Bucks, which really limits, like, their actual cap space. Same with all of these guys. So, if they renounce rights to Nic Batum to open up this cap space, suddenly they can just pay him either leftover cap space they have, an exception they have, like a MLE, something like that, which then that really limits his earning power. Also, I think with some of these vets, like same with Oubre, how long do you want to sit around without knowing exactly what you're going to make? Like that, because that's the situation, right? It's like, we might have cap space for you, we might have an MLE for you. Let me figure out this Paul George thing and this LeBron James thing and this other thing, and then we'll circle back to you. Like, also, NBA players hate Daryl Morey.
They do.
Paul George specifically, who is like, please someone pay me, who's not the Clippers, but also not the Sixers, please. Can we figure this out, please? Because he lies to players.
I love how the Sixers was, that report coming out was like, the Sixers have decided to move away from Paul. It's like,
you can't fire me, I quit.
Exactly.
Yeah. but now they came out again, like, we actually do want him. That was like, emotional. We're sorry.
We still would take Paul George.
They are so pathetic right now, and I can't wait until they end up with, like, we nailed it. Maybe they'll be the team who gives Naji Marshall $60 billion. That would be funny enough that
we're re-signing Tobias Harris, everyone.
Yeah. We got Tobias to take half the money. We think this is a huge win for us.
No, we're going to pay Tobias more than his last contract.
Oh my God.
Philly would implode if that happened.
But I do think the chickens are coming home to roost a little bit for Morey this offseason.
I think what?
The chickens are coming home to roost. Have you never watched Wolf of Wall Street?
I have, but I don't remember.
It's like your actions, like, everything has a consequence. So lying to all these players and then trading them, and now all of a sudden all the free agents are like, hey, let's not go there, because he told Chris Paul, hey, I'm not going to trade you to OKC. And like the next day, Chris Paul was a Thunder.
Yeah.
James Harden, who I think has, maybe they're not friends, but it has talked probably a lot to Paul George over the last year. Not a huge Daryl Morey fan either.
Nope. Went to a bunch of kids
in China. That's the funniest thing. Imagine you're just a Chinese kid. You're so excited. You're like, yes, James Harden coming to this bad. Can't wait. And James Harden's like, you know what, kids? Daryl Morey's a liar. And you're like, wait, I just want to learn the step back. And James Harden's like, Daryl Morey's a liar.
Let me.
And the kid's like, okay, can we do the step back now?
It's one of the funniest things that's ever happened.
I remember waking up and I was like, wow, the deep fakes have gotten good. I think there's no way this is real. I think more players should do this.
They really should. Just speak your mind. I can't wait.
But I mean surrounded by kids. I think it makes it so much funnier.
You have to do it at camps.
Gather in kids. I'm declining my player option to test the market.
I mean, it all started with the decision, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that like a...
It was an inflection point, and like, yeah, they're making a big deal out of this stuff.
No, but wasn't he with kids at that point?
It was like, well, there was probably kids there. It was like a televised event for TV for ESPN, but
yeah,
he probably had like the James gang and other kids there.
No, I thought not. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Maybe there could have been a trade, but Nic Batum.
Yeah, Nic Batum.
I dropped him down just because he's old, and with these guys, I'm always like, when's the fall off coming? But like, just a very good, helpful, bigger wing player who really knows how to play on good teams, and I think would help the Bucks. I think like we're now, in my estimation, to like purely bench players. Yes. But this is basically like, what if Boss Man didn't fall off a cliff?
Yeah. No, realistically it is, right? Because he would ideally play that same role, right?
Yeah.
In terms of being a guy off the bench who you think is a versatile wing, knows how to play. And especially if you have a young guy coming off the bench in Kello Ware, you want to have some vets around him to be able to like show him the ropes, being able to. I mean, the Bucks themselves, like their core is all vets now. Like, let's not.
Yeah, they're not lacking that, but one more doesn't hurt either, right? Like all that shared experience. It would be an even better situation too for like the Ajax, the Marjan, etc.
100%. You get what not to do in 2023, 2024, Jay Crowder, and now you get Beasley. And Malik Beasley. But then you get Nic Batum as well, who might end up being a what you not do. But again, we're at this point.
Yeah.
He had a good showing. I'll tell you what, with the Sixers.
He won them a playoff game.
He did.
Which is more than you can say about most Bucks role players over the last
couple years. A lot of Bucks role players lost them playoff games.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I would like to flip that switch, please.
I can't believe he did that. That was crazy.
One of the funny. Totally ruined that rap lyric, too.
Yeah. Sixers, by the way. First round exit again.
Not surprising.
No.
Everything is... So I heard Gavoni on the Low Post recent episode said, I think it would make a lot of sense if they saved that cap space and they could take in bad contracts at the deadline. And I'm just like, please let that be what they do. Joel, listen. We know you want to win. We're going to be able to win when we get 2 second-round picks and Harrison Barnes in January.
Oh, bro, I'd take Harrison Barnes.
I mean, I wouldn't give up the salary to get him.
Yeah, that's fair. But I've been a Harry B truther.
I know you have. He's always less old than I think.
One day that won't be true, just like it will be for all of us.
Damn.
That got deep.
Okay, yeah. Eric Gordon at 12.
Eric Gordon, no.
Really?
No, I'm out.
See, that I did this with Alec Burks, so I feel you.
I would take Alec Burks over.
I would take Eric Gordon over Alec. I think Eric Gordon does something with the ball. It's just
I think Alec Burks does something with the ball.
I think
Alec Burks won the Knicks a playoff game.
I mean, Eric Gordon didn't have a chance.
And for good reason.
It's not his fault. He was a stupid player for them to acquire.
I think you could have stopped after playing.
Hey, we have this skill set 4 times copied over. Let's bring in a 5th guy who's worse than the other 4 and see if he can do it better. That was to me what we got Booker, we got Katti, we got Beal.
Maybe
for some reason we also got Eric Gordon.
Maybe we need Eric more Gordon's the next guy who's going to be like James Jones is alive.
I'm just like I think the Bucks have sniffed after him for a while. He's just like bench guy who can score some points. They really didn't have. I mean, outside of Bobby, they didn't have a guard version of that last year.
No, they didn't, and I think it would be nice the skill set. I just don't think Eric Gordon has it anymore.
He still was like 12 points per game, even on that team, I think.
Was he actually?
He gets some buckets, man.
He will get some buckets, but at what cost? He was at 11, exactly.
11.
Which is wild.
37% from 3. He's been between 41 and 37 the last 3 years. 56% from 3.
Not a great defender, though.
No. Again, strictly get some buckets. If Dame doesn't play, he's going to shoot a lot more, or Kris, right? Like,
do you need
just a
more offense, though? Like, what does Eric Gordon give you that AJ Green doesn't?
That consistent scoring. And I think he does it off the bounce more.
That's fair. It is off the bounce.
Which I think that's the skill. It's off the bounce scoring. And I think this, to me, like, realistically, like, maybe 2 guys on this list they signed. Like, we want them to draft, we want them to trade, like, these other things. At least that'll actually be in the rotation. I wouldn't want it to be, okay, we got Eric Gordon, that's our big. I want him to be the second guy. To me, this is a luxury more than it's a they need this, if that makes sense. Like, how about if they were like, all right, we got Kris Dunn and Eric Gordon, then I'm like, that's great. That's perfect. Because you got your defender guard, but you also got this bench scorer that I think they could use, especially like if a Bobby Portis gets moved, I think it's much more important.
That's fair.
And you could say the same thing for Burks. Like, I'm just lower on Burks for probably no real reason.
Yeah, like I would be fine. I think you only get one of Alec Burks or Eric Gordon, obviously.
No, yeah, for sure, not both, but one to drop in and be like, hey, go score some points.
Yeah, which is fair. I think they're very similar players.
Yeah,
Burks is obviously less proven and younger, but
which means more upside and less likely to fall. How old is Eric Gordon? 35.
He is
35.
35, yeah. Fresh 30, not a fresh 35. He's third into his 35. Be 36. 18. He's Christmas Day birthday.
Oh, wow. That's fun. Yeah. Imagine how fun that could be on Christmas Day. We're celebrating EG's birthday while he's tearing up the Sixers.
Is Doc going to play him a lot? Because it's like, hey, it's your birthday, man.
I think that's fair.
Is it?
First nickname on B-Ball Ref, the Hobbit. Who's your next player? That's very offensive. He's 6'3". He's not that short.
Eric Gordon? No.
Yeah, that's not. That's bad.
You know, here's a dated nickname, 3G. that's how you know he's old, because he had a nickname of 3G.
That's very funny. 3G, cutting edge data available here.
Why is one of his nicknames EJ?
What's his middle name?
I don't know, but that's
Eric Gordon Jr. Eric Gordon Jr.
But that's
Eric Jr.
That's Ernie Johnson. When I think EJ, I'm not thinking of Eric Gordon.
Splash Gordon, I also don't like. I like E Money. Let's bring back E Money.
E Money.
That's also pretty old school.
3G.
3G is funny, yeah. I think we call him 3G if the Bucks sign him.
Oh man, but how old is Alec Burks?
He's
Alec Burks
31.
is. Oh my god.
What?
Okay, I take it back. Alec Burks is almost 33.
Oh wow.
Who am I thinking of then?
I don't know.
Okay, I take it back. Everyone's probably yelling at me because it's like, oh, I mentioned he's young. He is younger.
They're pretty similar statistically. I just think Gordon's a little better, personally.
Yeah, he might be. You might have convinced me. I think I got him confused with someone else. That's my bad. I take it back. Please take it back.
I used to get him confused with Jody Meeks.
I don't think it was Jody Meeks.
No, I don't think it was. Who's your next player? I have a lot of players to get through.
Okay, let's just start rattling off some names.
Yeah, quick analysis.
Here's someone. Is DeAnthony Melton unattainable?
I put him as such. I think they like him, and his cap hold's kind of small. He'd be a starter potential for me, though. I really like
absolutely starter potential.
He's tiny, which is the biggest downside.
Spencer Dinwiddie?
Didn't rank him because I hate him,
yeah,
but it makes sense. Helpful defensive guard.
Justin
really
Holiday.
Played well against the Bucks. I had him 19th, just below Aaron Holiday.
No, they're not very good, are they?
Justin had some good playoff moments, but he's old. Aaron Holiday, I feel like he's still he's on this very slow upward trajectory. He's just little. He's 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
I would like a Holiday brother back in my life.
Yeah, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal. I don't think that one's happening, so.
Okay, I rattled off some names. Not your kid.
Javonte Green.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's your guy. I'm surprised he wasn't in your tier 1.
No, I don't think he can start. I think he comes off the bench. He flies. He's a 6'5" cannonball. Flies around, defends, dunks. Jetty Osman.
Maybe.
Just come in and hits 38% from 3 the last couple of years. I look at him and it's like budget Grayson.
Yeah.
Great value Grayson. Grayson value. Coming off a $7 million deal with the Spurs. No idea if they care about him at all. They could probably use the spacing, but if he hits the market, I don't think he's going to have a lot of value. Then I had Richardson. Here's a guy I like, and again, who knows what's going on with Miami. Delon Wright.
Oh?
Not as fun as some of the other point guards we talked about, but if they lose out on Dunn and Dennis Smith Jr. and my guy Shake, that'd be a pretty decent backup option. Kind of a combo guard, shoots, can defend a bit.
Yeah. Here's a guy we haven't mentioned, and is definitely unrealistic, but there's been some rumblings that he might be a vet min guy. Buddy Hield.
Oh wow. Yeah, I left him off. But yeah,
again, he's gonna make more than vet min. No, some team is gonna do it.
Does Beasley take his bag? Who has a higher value right now?
Buddy. Absolutely.
You think Buddy. So?
Absolutely.
Huh.
I think 100% it's Buddy Hield.
How much older is Buddy?
Buddy Hield, I don't even know. Is he older?
Oh, yeah. There was a controversy.
He is?
I think he was like, hey, Kings, just so you know, I'm actually 2 years older than you thought.
He's 31.
Yeah.
And Beasley's
28?
Beasley is 27.
27. Yeah, I think that matters.
Beasley feels so much older than Buddy, though.
I know. But that's the thing. Buddy gets drafted. They're like, oh, we're so happy you're 24. He's like, actually, got an oopsie to share with you guys. He just got away with it. He's like, yeah, just so you know, contract signed, ink is dry. I'm old. They were like, oh, okay, you're going to New Orleans, buddy.
Get rid of the word.
Do I have that backwards?
No, you're right. It was the DeMarcus Cousins trade.
Oh, yeah, they gave him up to set. No,
it was Pelicans 2 Kings.
Yeah.
Get ready to learn beam, buddy.
Yeah. Get ready to never leave Tyrese Halliburton until a year later, buddy. Tyrese Halliburton only got drafted 2 years ago.
That can't be right.
Isn't it? Is that wrong? I thought
He's been playing since 21.
Oh, never mind.
He debuted. His NBA debut was December 3rd, 23rd.
I don't know what the hell I saw. I swear I saw.
He's been on the Pacers for 2 years.
Yeah, I think it must have been the extension.
I was like, am I old?
4 years is still not very much.
It's double what you said.
Well, yeah, I get that. Let's move on. Who are we talking about?
We were talking about Buddy Hield.
Oh, Buddy Hield.
I mean, I doubt he gets vet min, but
is this a hot take? I'd honestly say no.
If he gets vet min,
we just went down this road.
He's better than Beasley.
At what?
Everything. What is he worse than Beasley at?
Maybe defense.
I don't know if that's true. He's bigger.
By an inch?
No, I mean, they're the same height, but Buddy Hield's thicker. 33 pounds heavier.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited about it, to be. I get that it'd be great value or whatever. We were just here.
That same height, 33 pounds is crazy.
Yeah.
No,
I don't love that he's going to be 32 with all that extra weight, to be honest with you.
It's all muscle, baby.
I don't think, maybe if he runs around a lot. He's probably a better deep shooter. I don't know. Every time I felt like the Bucks played him, he just bricked a bunch of threes. That lowered me on him.
It's okay. We watch Malik Beasley do that a lot too.
I don't want to watch either of them do it. I want to watch Dame make shots. That's the whole point. Set a screen and defend. That's all I'm looking for. Reggie Bullock. That's a name.
I think he might be cooked.
Let me see. He was felt like a really useful player to those Mavs teams, and then they dumped him.
Here's a name. While you're looking at that, Kyle Lowry.
I put him on the non-attainable. I mean, talk about old and thick. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I want to root for him.
I don't know if I do either.
I wouldn't be very excited about it. So the thing with Bullock is last year, 38% with Dallas, 7 points, 3.5 rebounds per game. Like, good role player. Goes to Houston this year and just never plays. Because, again, Houston has too many guys. He played less than 10 minutes per game. Shot 40% from three, but just, had no opportunity to play at all. So I think Bullock is kind of a sneaky guy I'd be in on. Also, in the 22 playoffs, he started all 18 games for Dallas. 39% from three, 10 points per game. And he's still he's 33. So he's kind of old, but I'd give Bullock a chance.
Yeah.
I think his value is being artificially deflated by being on a horrible situation for him.
And yeah, that's fair.
I had Achiuwa then, just because I didn't know where to put him. I had Pat Bev.
Wesley Matthews?
I left him off. He's just so old. I love Wes. It's like if you have a 14th spot to fill and you've already signed a couple of guys I like, then sure. I can't bring myself to be like, yes, Wes should play again for the Bucks all the time.
He should be.
Love you, Wes.
He can be an assistant.
That would be great. He's going to have to sit in the third row at this point, but that'd be great. Lamar Stevens.
Yeah, your guy.
Just a defender, runs around a lot. He runs around. I love a guy that runs around. Don't think he can shoot. How do you feel about Tyus Jones and Monty Morris?
I think they might be unattainable. I was thinking about them.
I think Monty might be attainable, but I had them both low because I'm just like, that's probably the last archetype of player I want.
Yeah, right?
A small ball-handling point guard. It's like, okay, so you're only useful when Damian Lillard's not in the game.
Exactly, right? Like, there's no potential of him playing next to Dame, right? And that's the issue.
No. And I think Tyus for sure gets more. I think Monty Morris could be available. And I'm just like, again, if you have every other spot filled and you have a roster spot, you can get him for vet min, which is probably unrealistic, then sure. But I'm just like, I'm not that interested in players who I just think cannot play with Dame.
Yeah. What about Jingles?
I heard they might pick up the option.
Why?
I don't know, man.
That's just like, why? You're just giving Joe Ingles money for no reason.
They like him.
I mean, sure, good for him. I don't get it.
I don't really get it. I didn't get it originally. It might just be a trade chip thing too. I'm not sure, but yeah.
I guess. Who are some other guys? Royce O'Neal. I mean, Phoenix has his bird right, so.
I didn't put Royce on here. I think for that reason, but yeah, I'd be excited. I'd be more excited about Royce. I'd put him around
the
Bullock.
Wolves have Monte Morris's bird rights too.
Yeah, he didn't really play there, though, did he?
Not
much. Was he hurt? Or he just didn't play? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I'm not excited about him. I put Daniel Tice and Mason Plumlee next to each other.
I would be upset at either of them, but it's only...
Really? As a backup center?
No, because you can't have 3 centers because you're drafting Kelly Ware. I'm speaking it into existence, but...
what if Brooke and Bobby got moved?
Yeah, then I'd be fine with it.
That was... Yeah, but we don't know all the situations
Wagner.
of these players. I assume they're going to bring him back.
Yeah,
he'd be higher than those guys. I hate him. Oh, no, he wouldn't because I hate him too much. I want him to be on the Bucks.
No, I do not. I hate him. Yeah, absolutely hate him. Kevin Love is a player option.
I'm good. Reddish.
The Derek Jones Jr. Matrix.
For Kevin Love?
No, I'm talking about Derek Jones Jr.
For Cam Reddish.
Oh, Cam Reddish. Okay. No.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, he's like good defender. Here's the thing. There's a lot of guys on this list. Like, I think you add at most one more non-shooter this offseason. That's my take. I know we had this whole thing about maybe shooting's a little less. And I mean non-shooter. Like Okogie, Reddish level. Not just like 35% guy who kind of shoots. I think Ajax is a questionable. Obviously, you have Giannis. Like, if you draft Eve Missy, don't sign any wings who can't shoot or guards, is my take. Like, I don't think you want to overdo it with the non-spacing.
Yeah. Like, we've talked about how spacing isn't necessarily, like, a big concern for the Bucks because of the players and the personnel that they have. But you don't want to overdo it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe add an additional non-shooter, You don't have to.
Yeah, I think one max.
Sadiq Bey, restricted, but who knows what Atlanta's doing?
That's... God. I mean, it would be a good flyer. I just am not out. I'm just pretty out on him as a player.
One of the most incredible 50-point games of all time.
The Hawks gave up some hilarious 50 balls. Malachi Flynn.
Yeah, that's the worst 50 ball I've ever seen, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're letting Malachi Flynn put 50 on you, you need to go to the G League.
The whole organization.
Like, that's the, like, Adam Silver should have come out with a statement after that game and said, hey, by the way, we're introducing relegation purely because of this game.
I think that would have been fair. Jayshawn Tate.
It would have been great 3 years ago.
Yeah, the luster is worn off.
Your guy, Fontecchio.
Oh, the Pistons are giving him a bag. He's on the untouchable. He's Brinks truck backed up to Simone. No shot. KJ Martin, people were excited about. I did a KJ Martin deep dive because I think Clayton, one of our listeners, was like, hey, you got to put KJ Martin on the list. He's like, doesn't shoot, not a great defender, very short arms, like 1 inch longer wingspan. I just don't really know what he does.
Yeah,
he excites people because he dunks every so often. It's like, okay, there's a lot of players in the G League who do that too. Don't like the fit.
Bring back Campaign.
He would be better than some of these players, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Robert Covington.
What about Dario?
What about Dario's? What happened to him? I feel like I haven't heard the name. Was he on the Warriors?
Yeah.
Like all year? Did they just stop playing? Did he get hurt?
He
must have gotten hurt. Or did they just stop playing him? Or did Trace Jackson Davis just take his spot? That would make sense.
Dario Saric.
Not 37% from 3. Yeah, I mean,
he played 64 games for the Warriors.
If they need a big, right? If they need a big, then sure.
Not a defensive monster by any means.
No.
What about? Hey, you want to? If the Bucks don't draft Zach Edey, we've got Zach Edey at home. Boban.
No, I'm sorry. I love Boban. Let him focus on film.
Jordan Nwora?
No.
Weird guy.
Yeah. I said that you didn't even react to Robert Covington.
No, because he doesn't exist anymore.
3 guys in a row, or 2 guys I was really excited about last year that might be out of the NBA now. One actually accepted their player option, which is hilarious. Keita Bates-Diop and Yuta Watanabe.
Yeah, Yuta's gone, by the way.
Did he sign elsewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of washed out of the league after a pretty exciting flashes for a couple of seasons.
More of an yeah, he plays in it says he's on the Grizzlies, but that's not true.
He was on there last year.
I know, but he signed somewhere. Yeah, I swear he signed somewhere. Am I making this up?
I don't know.
He's playing in Japan. Yep.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, I think really struggled this last year. So I guess
I think he still would have gotten a shot. I think he just wanted to go back.
I mean, yeah, a shot for him, I get it. I mean, he keeps going places and they're like, all right, you can have 8 minutes a game and barely play. So I understand. O'Shea Brissett, who just opted out of his contract with Boston.
Didn't play for Boston.
Doesn't really shoot, so it's like...
Doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, athletic winger moves around. Your guy, Thad Young.
Thad Young, it would have been nice. Would have been nice.
What about now? He's only a couple months older.
It was a rough couple months, though.
It sure was.
It was a really rough couple.
He's not putting up the Larry Bird LeBron stats anymore.
No. That's his legacy, by the way.
That graphic is sadly for him is for sure his legacy. He's like a good player, but that's what it's always going to be.
Made a lot of money in the NBA, but that's his legacy.
Yeah, you know what? Not sad for him. It worked. I have West down here, sadly.
PJ? No, he's got that player option. Put him on.
Yeah, he's staying.
Yeah. No shot. He's turning back.
No, it's like $12 million. Yeah, he should. It would take him 6 years to make that up.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I had him 40th.
He was last.
Yeah. No, I had Cody Zeller below him, but Alex Len and Cody Zeller were the last names I ranked.
I can't believe Alex Len and Cody Zeller are both still in the NBA.
For now. I think Alex Len could be a little higher than this. Cody Zeller, I think, actually sucks.
Let's see. What about Fournier? Unless Detroit picks it up.
No, I'm good. I mean, now I have to deep dive Evan. I didn't even consider.
No, there's no reason to deep dive Evan.
No, but I do always say, like, you know, some of these guys, their perception gets ruined by the contract, and that's not really on them.
I think it's fine.
No, he sucks. He shot under 31%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was mostly kidding. Does Gordon Hayward sign for a vet?
I actually, again, he was another one where I was just like, I think I've said I wouldn't take him for any contract. He was pretty bad last year.
He was very bad.
He shot 51% with OKC, and they still hated him?
Yeah.
Again, this is like, I'd put him way below Eric Gordon. But it's like, do you just want like a bench offensive guy? Then you could do worse. That would be his role, though. Just like come in, do some stuff. Probably doesn't play in the playoffs. So again, should not be your main. This should be like a luxury signing.
Yeah. Jeff Green?
That'd be kind of fun.
I mean,
so old though.
So old. Maybe Houston just picks up his option. Who knows?
They might. I mean, they are another team. 16 years, drafted in 2007. Still 6.5 points per game last year. Still played 78 games.
What a warrior. I'm glad he got a title.
He turns 38 in August, though. Jeff Green is so old. This is back when NBA prospects would go to Georgetown.
Oh, God.
Greg Monroe did too, but It's been a while.
I mean, Greg Monroe's... He's not that old, actually.
Probably close.
No, he's not even close. I think he like just turned 30.
He's 34, dude.
Oh.
Wow. Welcome to getting old, Rohan.
Wow.
This is how it be.
It's tough.
Greg Monroe was drafted in 2010. Garrison Matthews, I think we're done. Let's circle back. Who would your 5 players you'd be most excited about? Actually, Garrison Matthews had an okay year. I'll allow Garrison Matthews.
I knew I'd get you on the Garrison.
We could put Garrison around Jetty Osman. I missed him.
So my top 5 players. I'll say I'm rearranging the order after talking about this.
Yeah, and I'm gonna filter out the unrealistic ones.
Kelly Oubre, Lonnie Walker, Haywood Highsmith, Dennis Smith Jr., Kris Dunn.
I'll say Haywood Highsmith, Kelly Oubre, Lonnie Walker, Kris Dunn. Shake Milton and Gary Harris tied. Those would be the players I'd be most excited about. And then I would like Dennis Smith Jr. I would be happy about like one of these offensive-minded guys like Eric Gordon. Delon Wright, Delon Wright looked good as a shooter in the playoffs. Or maybe Alec Burks. And then some of these like defense-only guys. again, like I don't want this to be your main free agency option, but if you get like a Cam Reddish or a Josh Okogie, I think it makes sense. But it's like I would hope that Ajax just takes their minutes.
Yeah. And then for bigs,
we'll
like Drummond, Achiuwa,
Tillman,
Mamu.
You're out on Daniel Tice, huh?
I'm very much out on Daniel Tice.
I looked at Mamu. I assume the Spurs just keep him. I kind of feel like he had a good thing going there, but
they might not.
Yeah, I mean, they had another team with a lot of balls in the air this summer.
Yeah. Because Wemby's holding them so high.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Thank you. Him and Klingon. I'm telling you, the Spurs are considering it because they listen to this podcast.
Yeah, we were on that first.
Yeah.
Our mock draft episode.
Go back
and since then, I am like so out on Klingon. So
you're very out on Klingon.
Well, I just like I don't know why he should go like 9 to Memphis makes a lot of sense. You know what I was thinking? If Memphis like traded down or something and got Edey, I would really like that for both teams. I think that'd be one of the best fits.
One guy we didn't talk about, by the way, is Steven Adams.
Oh yeah, because he's not a free agent, or he'd be like a trade acquisition, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying in general.
I mean, I've seen all this like Steven Adams and was it Tari Eason? That's a trade everyone likes right now for
First of all,
like Brook Lopez. I mean, it's one of those where Houston's not doing that. I like Tari Eason. Again, how many non-shooters do we want? And I know he started to kind of shoot, but I don't know if defenses are respecting the shot with Tari Eason.
No.
I want Dylan Brooks. If you're making that trade with Houston, I would rather bring back Dylan Brooks, who's more ready to play, has proven more consistent offensive player. And I don't think they want to give up. But again, I wouldn't think they'd want to scrap their rebuild and go get Mikal Bridges, but it sure sounds like they do. Or James Harden or whoever they're going after. Or not Harden, Jimmy Butler is what I meant to say.
We got some breaking news here.
What's that?
We got a player option.
Oh, who?
PJ.
Oh. I saw a report that he probably would the other day, and I was like, really? We have to do probably would on this?
No, here. PJ Tucker is expected to exercise his $11.54 million player.
Yeah, we know.
For Mike Scotto.
The Clippers are just like kind of cooked, huh?
Yeah.
If they lose Paul George, what's the point? You can't blow it up. You don't have your picks.
And you have a new arena.
And you have Kawhi on this like new huge extension.
Yeah.
Who's going to play for like maybe half the games.
No.
James Harden also a free agent.
Russell Westbrook could be a free agent.
Like what? Like they're in like quietly like the most volatile situation in the league right now, I think.
Yeah, but it's all talk about Giannis getting out, you know?
I feel like people just turned off the Bucks stuff for now. Did you see Windhorse?
What did Windy say?
He said, "Don't rule out the Bucks and teams making these splashy moves."
Oh,
I'm seeing real buzz. I think the Bucks are going to be active these next couple of days. I think we'll be back podcasting again. I mean, obviously we have to draft in tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to be talking anyway.
I think we're going to have a lot to talk about these next several days. That's all I'm going to say.
I can't wait for Paul George to be a Buck.
God, that'd be crazy.
Can you imagine?
I'll take Dylan Brooks, man. I'll take. I changed my tone. I will also take Luguentz Dort.
Did you not want him?
He's just a little small, but he makes up for it. I'm okay with it.
He does. I was gonna say something I probably shouldn't say.
That's good.
Yep. I'll tell you after.
Yeah, I think I got it, but we'll see.
Yeah, do we have any other free agents we need to talk about here?
I think we've covered quite a few.
Dougie McBuckets?
I wouldn't stop doing the pod, but I think I'd lose my lust for it.
Not even on like a vet min.
Why?
Just to yeah, I don't know. I can't
be a worse AJ Green. That's my thing. I kind of like Baylor Shireman if he falls to 33, but it just feels like so much AJ Green.
It's a lot of AJ Green. Yeah,
it's a lot of AJ Green,
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe Baylor would come on the pod. Unattainable. We didn't even mention him, but he's
who?
Hartenstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, way unattainable. OKC might pay him $20 million.
Kind of crazy.
I don't think that's true. I think that's just bait from his side.
If they did, it's like Bruce Brown. Oh, Bruce Brown.
I think they're going to pick up the option.
But like, would you trade Bobby and Pat for Bruce Brown?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not that psyched about it. Didn't have a good year. He would look better on the Bucks, though.
He would look a lot better on the Bucks. He looked good for the Pacers before Pascal Siakam looked a lot better for the Pacers.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Westbrook to the Bucks. He has a $4 million player option, which is probably more than Vetman.
Yeah, it is more than Vetman. It's just such a bad fit with Giannis.
It's a very bad fit.
Even as like a semi-Westbrook proponent, it's such a bad fit with Giannis.
Yeah. I'm just going through this list, and I just had Tristan Vukcevic, club option, $2.4 million that they're probably going to pick up.
Wow, really? They got him on a one-on-one when he came over?
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of weird. I guess if you're not sure he's good.
Thanasis is getting the max, so it's fine.
Could you imagine?
Yes.
You would be happy. Would you be happy?
Yeah.
If the Bucks used all their remaining financial ability to give Thanasis Antetokounmpo a 5-year, $200 million, $300 million contract.
It's not $300 million. He is not Supermax eligible.
He's probably got enough years in the league that he is.
No,
he probably doesn't.
There's no shot.
Oh God, Basketball Reference is making noise. Sorry if anyone just heard an ad.
Okay. I couldn't.
No, you couldn't, but I think the viewers could. No, he only has 6 seasons, so actually it would be the mini max.
Yeah, it'd be 2.
It'd be a bargain.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be more millions dollars than games he's played in his career.
He has what?
It'd be more millions of dollars than games he's played in his career across those 6 seasons.
It's a bargain. And on that note, we'll say
let's not interrogate this anymore.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Gyro Step here on Blue Wire and GSPN. As we mentioned up top, we will be doing a live stream for the first round of the NBA draft tomorrow, Wednesday, June. What day is that? The 26th at 7 o'clock Central. We will be live on the GSPN YouTube channel. You can check out the link at gspn.info. Also, you could have been listening to this podcast completely ad-free.
Commercial free.
Commercial free. Thank you.
Still hear about our friends at Prize Picks.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love our friends at Prize Picks.
Yeah.
Commercial free on GSPN Premium. You can find that subscription at gspn.info. You get access to a completely commercial-free podcast feed for all GSPN pods. You get all of our written content. You get GSPN After Dark, an exclusive podcast. You get fun videos, all that fun stuff for $8 a month. So it's not that bad if you want to subscribe at gspn.info. That's also where you're just going to find all of our stuff, all of our links. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening to this or watching on YouTube. And again, if you're on YouTube, turn those notifications on. You'll know exactly when we go live tomorrow. So appreciate that. Make sure you're subscribed on your podcast platform of choice as well. Pod Random, and we'll talk to you next time.